Charts are an important feature of Microsoft Excel, and they're quite beneficial to any reports we're writing or whenever working with data, it's useful to represent it in a visual way. Like if we have this climate data for Ireland in 2015, we could easily represent with, say, the temperature and month in a bar chart or a column chart that looks something like this. So it's relatively straightforward to do in Excel, but we might have a little problem maybe where our data is separated or there's something in the way. So we'll see in a second how to get around that problem. If we want to generate a chart for the month and the temperature for each month, we just highlight that data. In this case, these two rows. We won't take in the last column there, the average of the year. So we have our months selected, we have our label here selected for record high. So now we just go up to insert and we select the chart that we want. So I'm just going to pick a fairly straightforward column chart. From here now I can edit any aspect of this that I like. So you can see up on top in Excel, in the later versions of Excel we have different versions of the same column chart. So if you want to change the appearance of it, we'll say I'll select this one. We might also decide to adjust the heading because that may not make much sense on its own. So we might say, click in here and say temperature colon and record high. That might add a little bit of clarity to what the chart actually says. So we can move the chart to another location if we want. If we wanted to put it on another sheet, I right click any place where in the white section, the background of the chart, and cut it. Then we'll say I'm going to put it onto sheet 3 and right click and paste. And there is my chart. So if we go back to the data, we will notice that we have a little problem. If I want to do the same thing for rainfall, I can't highlight the months, the labels for the month, and then my data on the bottom. Our temperature information is in the way. So a quick way around that is to select your months like we did before, but this time we'll use the control key. So we keep our finger on control and then select the second set of data. We just have to be very careful that it matches up. We have to have the same amount of selections here as down here on the bottom. So once we have the data selected, go up to insert and the chart again, and it will then generate a chart based on those two sets of data.